Hey, we're off this week, but we'll be back on September 7th talking NFL, finally. In the meantime, here's some free internet content. All right, speed round. Jonah Hill.
Yes.
You're uniquely equipped for a speed round. You go in a lot of different directions, which is what we do with the speed round.
You don't want to live in my brain for a day, Bill. It's not a pleasant place to be. It's hard to stay on track.
Your Twitter feed
is horrible.
Makes me think you want to be a hip-hop producer someday. Is that in the cards?
No. Thank God. I will have no. I think I love hip-hop music. I grew up in the generation where hip-hop got its footing, and then it had the golden era, like in the early mid-90s. So yeah. I think I was around for the true growth of the art form and exploration of it, going out of like gangster rap and artsy rap and all of these different kind of things.
But you're not opening your own record label or anything.
No, but I am directing my first movie, and the sound, it's called Mid-90s, and the soundtrack is pretty exclusively early mid-90s hip hop. So to me, a big part of my music fanaticism, or even wanting to direct, is being able to put the songs I love over scenes that have affected my life, right? So kind of creating a soundtrack.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of pressure on that soundtrack.
That's the one thing. The movie, I mean, I've never directed a film. I hope I do a good job. The soundtrack will be amazing. That is the one thing I can guarantee.
I'm excited. Kanye or Kendrick?
Oh, Kanye.
Tupac or Biggie?
Not disrespectful to Kendrick. I do want to clarify, because I love Kendrick, but I'm a big Kanye apologist and enthusiast, meaning that I think his musical output in the last 15 years is maybe unrivaled by anyone ever, or very, not ever, but definitely in hip-hop and popular music in the past 15 years.
Yeah.
I think if you separate that from the things you might criticize him for, what he says or what he does, his music the last 15 years is so unbelievable that 100 years from now it will be talked about. I wish he wouldn't say that, but it's actually true.
That's what I said in the HBO promo we did. I said Kanye is genius. Kanye is a genius, but the problem is he knows he's a genius.
Yeah, it's like saying,
that's the fundamental Kanye problem.
I've heard that term a bunch with other people, is he's a genius, just ask him.
Right.
But that is also part of why he's interesting to talk about, and what makes his music, the difference between the juxtaposition of his grandiosity and his insecurity is a big part of what makes him followable for me.
I agree. Best NBA rapper ever?
Shaq. The Fushnikins kind of, with the Shaq, it's not that bad. Now, as an actor,
feels like a homer pick.
No, it's not, because who's better? I'm. You know what? I'm not going to be peer pressured.
Damian Lillard's upset.
I don't care.
Listened to his album yet.
Shaq is definitely the best rapper from the NBA.
Which rapper was the best actor?
Ice Cube. You can see him in Three Kings or Rampart. And then
Ice Cube is good.
He's really good. Yeah. And I've worked with him, and he's just really malleable and good. And the first story for the first Jump Street movie, the first choice I made was to cast the guy who wrote "Fuck the Police" as the captain of the police. And
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, and it was like a childhood dream to work with Ice Cube. I got to ask him. This is before the NWA movie and everything.
How long did you circle his dressing room for 20 minutes waiting to go in?
I played it cool, because it's like a 3-month shoot, and then
hey man, what's up, kid?
Yeah, I was like, hey, and he was like, I think respected me for the first month or two, because I wasn't bothering him. Yeah. And I was just hired him as an actor, but then I was just like, so it was a good day, an actual day? Because there's a rumor that it's one day. I was trying to figure out the day the Lakers beat the Supersonics.
Yeah.
And it said Ice Cube's a pimp on the Goodyear Blue. No, but it's not one day. There is an internet rumor about that.
It's I don't know if he created the triple-double or popularized it. The triple-double I remember existing in the 80s with Dirty Magic, but I don't remember people caring about it until that song.
Yeah, it was.
And then it felt like it went to another level.
I think it definitely made it something that people would brag about more.
What would the movie casting equivalent of Watch the Thrones be for you? Yeah.
Amazing question.
Thank you.
Who would be casted in Watch the Throne?
Who are the two?
Daniel Day-Lewis and Leo.
You're a Howard Stern junkie. Your favorite Stern moment ever?
That's so hard.
Yeah, I know.
Eric, the actor, the balloons, when he's trying to convince him to fly away with balloons, I would say. Just the negotiation of it all was really brilliant.
He kind of invented It was all the stuff that we would make fun of with our friends, but Stern was the first person I had heard
say it
in a public way,
yeah.
be like, oh, I'm gonna, this is what I do too. I mean, you know, it kind of taught us how to make fun of other people.
Yeah,
you've kind of mentioned
my iconic, you know, like pop culture figures that I like non-movie people, which is my life.
Yeah.
But Kanye and Howard being the pop culture geniuses that I could talk about for hours. Howard is like endlessly.
That's why we like each other. Those are two of my favorites.
It's true. You've always been.
Howard's like in his 60s now. Like he shouldn't still be good.
Well, but
that's the thing that's amazing is he's still like adding to.
Not adding to. I think what's amazing about Howard is that he is one of the only, I would say, artists or people that make something that they get exponentially better as they get older and the show goes on. Where it's usually the height of it somewhere in the beginning or middle, and then it trails off, right? It's like, if I listen to his shows now, I'm way more interested to the ones, I'm way more attracted and interested in the ones recently than I am in the 80s or 90s. It's like,
a good point.
I'm way more impressed with his evolution than almost anybody,
Yeah, he's done it, and plus he made so much money, he shouldn't be still tinkering with, like, how can I get better? It's like, you've made like $1 billion.
He
I would just
cares.
Be in the Hamptons. Yeah, he does. He's one of a kind.
Yeah.
What was your bar mitzvah theme?
Jonah goes platinum. so embarrassing, man. Yeah, it's like they were platinum records. I was like into music, hip hop music. I think I did a dance. To a Far Side song at my bar mitzvah.
Wow. No video? Video?
Not that you're seeing. But there was those like at this time it was actually a revolutionary photography trick where it's me, there's a photo of me like at one, like going like this, and then the other side is me pointing like back at myself.
How close is the picture to that SNL character you played at the Benihana?
I did the voice and stuff based on my grandpa who passed away. He was an amazing guy. But talked a lot like that. But that is an interesting thing. That sketch came from, I was at dinner with Bill Hader and Andy Samberg years and years ago before the first time I hosted, which is now almost like 10 years ago also, which is just bizarre to think about. And Bill Hader was telling a story about, he's from Ohio and he went to Benihana and he saw this kid in like a velour tracksuit and like a gold chain, and he couldn't tell if he was like 6 or like 45. And when the Benihana chef does the tricks and everyone claps,
Yeah.
The kid was like this. And we just started doing a bit for like hours doing like what that kid talks like and stuff. And then when I got to the show, Bill and I went to Seth Meyers and we're like, hey, we want to do this like Benihana sketch where Bill's the dad and I'm the kid.
In-N-Out, overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
Overrated. Fatburger is like,
that's how I feel. It's like sacrilegious to say that.
Yeah.
I don't get the In-N-Out thing. Maybe it's because I'm not from here.
If you're not from here, it's like the attractive option.
I think they hyped it too much. So when I had it, I thought my life was going to be out there. I'm like, this is a fucking burger. Like,
if you're a hip hop person, you like Fatburger. There are 3 songs that call out Fatburger and none that call out In-N-Out. It Was a Good Day was 2 a.m, hit the Fatburger. There's Biggie going back to Cali, If I Want a Squirter, take it to Fatburger, a little misogynistic and bizarre, but that's right. And then the Beastie Boys, which is I chill at White Castle because it's the best, but I hit Fatburger when I'm way out west. So to me, it's like you don't have an option.
3 icons.
Yeah, exactly.
You've said in the past you were not good at being a famous person. Who is good at being a famous person?
I would say Channing Tatum's good at being a famous person. Not in a totally complimentary way. He's one of my favorite people in the world. But he so walks into a room and lights up the room naturally. He just has this natural light inside of him that's amazing. And I'm like in awe when he walks into a room in that way. For me, it's like my instinct is to not, I say weird stuff and think weird stuff, and it's hard to be like, he's not being fake by being a good famous person. I'm being fake when I'm being a good famous person. Like, this is a real conversation, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it is. But I'm not always good at like it's a struggle for me, whereas for him, I don't know if it's a struggle, but he's just got a light inside of him that is special.
Greatest Laker ever, Kobe or Magic?
Magic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you.
That's insane.
I don't
yeah.
this recency bias with Kobe being the greatest. God
I mean,
bless Kobe,
he's
top
amazing,
10 player ever,
but-
but Magic's the greatest Laker ever. Come on. You played big douches in Wolf of Wall Street and War Dog, huge douches. Is there a level left of movie douchiness that you haven't tapped into yet?
I'm
like
hoping-
porn producer?
There's one-
70s porn producer?
There's a movie I'm considering doing to end the Jewish Scumbag trilogy, to put it to to put it to rest. I'm really into. I should clarify that because that sounds insensitive, but I actually have a point to that. Is I have a real issue with people hiding behind religion.
Yeah.
Right. And in War Dogs, my character Ephraim wears a chai, and he's he's super into flaunting his religion.
Yeah.
Now, so I have an issue with people doing morally bad things and then going, well, I'm religious, so please, how dare you say that I'm like a bad person or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that concept. And since I'm Jewish, it's only respectful that I explore it within my own religion, even though it exists within all religions.
I didn't think it was a controversial statement at all.
No, I just want to
like the
I want to
trilogy.
clarify more from my grandma as opposed to
great.
saying Jewish scumbag on HBO,
Your first movie was I Heart Huckabees?
Yes.
Were you on set for any of the fights?
Yeah.
You were?
Man, there's conflict on movie set. It's
Yeah.
not meant to be filmed and put out into the world.
Right.
I think that's more of the issues. You can agree or disagree when you're looking at something out of context. And I don't know the situation. I was a kid. I was 18. I had no idea what was going on,
Right.
what these work dynamics were like. But people in creative atmospheres, when it's that much money and time, they butt heads sometimes. And it's not meant, the work process is not meant to be shown on the internet.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing Speed Round.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
It was great talking to you.